Imagine waking up in a world where winter never truly ends. A world where temperatures can kill within hours, where giant mammoths roam frozen plains, and where saber-toothed predators watch silently from the darkness. Every single day is a battle against hunger, cold, and extinction. This was not a fantasy world. This was Earth. And for thousands of years, it was home to our ancestors. Tonight, we're traveling back to one of the harshest periods in human history to discover what life was really like during the Ice Age. 20,000 years ago, much of the northern hemisphere was locked beneath enormous sheets of ice. Glaciers stretched across entire continents. Sea levels were dramatically lower, and the world looked completely different from the one we know today. There were no cities, no roads, no farms, no governments, and no written history. Only small groups of humans struggling to survive in a dangerous and unpredictable wilderness. Yet somehow, despite the freezing cold, the predators, and the endless challenges our ancestors endured, their survival story remains one of the greatest achievements in human history. Imagine standing on an open plain, stretching beyond the horizon. The wind cuts through your clothing like a blade, while snow drifts across the frozen ground. Above you, the sky is gray and unforgiving. In the distance, massive glaciers tower like frozen mountains, some thousands of feet thick. Entire regions of North America and Europe disappear beneath these colossal walls of ice. Yet not every place is buried beneath glaciers. Vast grasslands known as the Mammoth Steppe stretch across Eurasia, creating one of the richest ecosystems of the Ice Age. These frozen plains support enormous herds of animals. Woolly mammoths roam across the horizon, joined by woolly rhinoceroses, giant bison, reindeer, and wild horses. For early humans, these animals are not simply wildlife. They are survival itself. They provide food, clothing, shelter, tools, and fuel. Without them, life would be impossible. But humans are not the only hunters in this frozen world. Cave lions stalk the grasslands, dire wolves roam in packs, and enormous bears dominate the wilderness. Somewhere in the shadows, a saber-toothed predator waits. Every journey beyond camp carries risk, and every hunt can quickly become a fight for survival. As dawn approaches, a small band of humans begins to stir. Their shelter is simple but effective, built from animal hides, wooden poles, and sometimes even mammoth bones. Inside, a fire burns softly. Fire is everything. It provides warmth, protection, light, and a place to cook food. Without it, surviving the brutal winter would be nearly impossible. Families gather close together during the night to conserve heat. Children sleep beside their parents, while the elderly remain protected by the group. In the Ice Age, community is not a luxury. It is survival itself. As morning arrives, hunters prepare for the day ahead. Stone spear points are carefully inspected. Animal skin clothing is tightened against the cold. Tools are sharpened and repaired. Every item has been crafted by hand, and nothing is wasted. Every resource is precious. Outside, the freezing air bites immediately. Another day has begun, and with it comes the constant search for food. Hunting during the Ice Age is dangerous beyond imagination. There are no rifles, no steel traps, and no modern technology. Only intelligence, teamwork, and courage. A mammoth can weigh several tons, and a single mistake can mean death. Hunters often work together to drive animals toward cliffs, ravines, or natural traps. Others rely on carefully coordinated spear attacks. The hunt requires patience, sometimes days of tracking, sometimes weeks. The group studies footprints in the snow, broken branches, and subtle signs left behind by migrating herds. Knowledge passed down through generations becomes their greatest weapon. Eventually, they spot a herd. The hunters spread out across the frozen landscape. Heartbeats quicken. The attack begins. Chaos erupts as animals charge through the snow. Spears fly through the icy air. People shout directions while massive mammoths thunder across the plain. For a few terrifying moments, everything hangs in the balance. Then comes silence. If the hunt succeeds, the reward is enormous. Meat to feed the tribe, bones for tools, hides for clothing, and fat for fuel. Nothing goes unused. Every part matters because failure means hunger. And hunger can be deadly. As the sun begins to set, danger increases once again. Predators become more active, and the frozen wilderness belongs to them, just as much as it belongs to humans. Imagine hearing distant growls somewhere beyond the darkness. You cannot see what is watching, but you know something is there. Cave lions can ambush without warning. Wolf packs may follow a group for miles. Massive bears can overpower even experienced hunters. Nighttime is especially dangerous. Fires are kept burning, and lookouts remain alert. Beyond the campfire, the darkness feels endless. For Ice Age humans, fear is not an occasional feeling. It is a daily companion. Yet despite the danger, they continue. They have no choice. One of the greatest strengths of early humans is cooperation. Unlike many predators, humans survive through teamwork. Knowledge is shared. Food is shared. Responsibilities are shared. Older members teach younger generations how to track animals, identify dangerous plants, craft tools, and survive in a harsh world. Around the fire, stories are told. Some describe great hunts. Others explain the stars above. Some may become the earliest myths and legends in human history. These moments strengthen social bonds, and those bonds help groups survive difficult winters and uncertain times. In many ways, the true secret of human survival is not strength, It is cooperation. The ability to work together, help one another, and learn collectively. That advantage changes everything. Then slowly, the world begins to change. Temperatures rise and glaciers begin to retreat. Over thousands of years, the Ice Age gradually comes to an end. Forests spread across landscapes once dominated by grasslands. Many giant animals disappear. Mammoths slowly vanish from the earth. Woolly rhinoceroses disappear forever. Entire ecosystems transform. For humans, these changes create both challenges and opportunities. Some groups adapt by hunting different animals, while others begin experimenting with new ways of obtaining food. The foundations of agriculture slowly emerge, and the long journey towards civilization begins. The frozen world that shaped humanity starts to fade into history, but its legacy remains. The Ice Age was one of the harshest environments humans have ever faced. It tested our ancestors every single day against cold, hunger, predators, and extinction itself. Yet they survived, not because they were the strongest creatures on Earth, but because they adapted, they learned, they cooperated, and they refused to give up. Every city, every nation, and every piece of modern technology can trace its roots back to those small groups, gathered around ancient fires beneath frozen skies. Their world is gone. The glaciers have melted. The mammoths have vanished. But their story lives on within us. Because the greatest survivor of the Ice Age was not the mammoth, nor the saber-toothed cat. It was humanity. If you enjoyed this journey into the distant past, consider subscribing for more cinematic historical reconstructions. And let us know in the comments, which moment in human history should we explore next? Until next time, thanks for watching.